everyone read them, February, March minutes. Yeah. I hear a motion, I'll say,
I make a motion.
I'll say. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Unfinished business. The chicken ordinance that most everybody is concerned about was voted down in the last, BMA meeting. And we will discuss this at the May BMA workshop. We will use the state of Tennessee law and choose the parts that will benefit the town of Surgoinsville. And the only reason we're doing it this way is so it can come through city court and not have to go through the court in Raleigh. We thought we had something on the books. Larry searched the books and we cannot find anything. And there will not be anything to keep anybody from having chicken. That is not our intent.
You want to charge us to have chickens?
John, did you hear what I said? That ordinance was voted down last month. Now, that is all gone. It's gone. It's gone.
What about the one you wanna use?
Wasn't there a meeting last week where y'all discussed this ordinance again?
Yeah.
After y'all.
We did it at the workshop.
Last Monday.
Last Monday.
Okay, if it was already dead, but you brought it back up, you were discussing again. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe there was discussion about permit.
No.
I believe it was.
No.
That's the ordinance that I opposed, and then we voted to.
What I just got through telling John.
You said in that meeting that you weren't telling people how many chickens, and you all hadn't decided what was going to be in it.
You attend guidelines.
This was on the video. from
Okay,
last
that
week.
ordinance, this was not last week, this was the last time we had people here. Last week we thought we had something on the books, I guess we don't, that's why we're doing state. So how it would work was we had the one that we had kind of adopted and we were going to adjust it to work for town. And that's where we were at, but then, word got out, people were upset, and that's why I had done the opposition and we voted to shoot that one down. Now we've got the state of Tennessee's, which when we had discussed it with everyone here last time, people seemed to be in agreement with taking Tennessee's law and adjusting it for a smaller scale. We're not a large city, so it can be scaled down.
I'm glad you recognize that, but I believe it's the adjusting of it that we're all afraid of.
We'd like to know what kind of adjustments are
That's
being
what all
made.
these, we're not here because we don't have anything else to do.
We'd like to know what kind of adjustments are being made.
We don't have any confidence in whatever y'all will pass.
Right.
Uh,
I know, I've seen too much of it.
John, you know me.
I know you from a long time.
Yeah.
We ain't always agreed, and I don't agree with this. I like you. I wish no anything, but I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that goes on in this building right here. And we the people need to correct that.
What we're afraid of is that there are things going on all over the country, and every bit of it is to restrict people's rights and their
We are
freedom.
not gonna do this.
Well, I hear you saying that.
No.
We are not.
But that, if you go back to what you were trying to pass before, that's exactly what it does.
No, it's not going back to what
We're
we're trying to
not
pass.
going back there.
Like we've said, we're taking Tennessee state law. That's what we're gonna use.
But do we, the people, get the choice to vote on that? Tennessee state law? I'm just asking.
It's been on books forever.
I understand. I do.
Excuse me, could you give us the actual law, the statute number, so we can look it up?
Well, that's what I was told
Well,
last meeting out there. I was told
How do we know what law you're
And you're
referring
right,
to?
there's not that back yet.
How they gonna, that's where we're at.
How are you gonna modify it if you don't even know what it is? I mean, how do you even look
Well, anybody that's got a computer can go on and look at that.
What are we looking up? Give us a number, give us a name.
At least the name.
Randy will tell you.
It's like a,
But what we're saying, actually, the bunch of stuff in that the town does not need or want. And it's, what, 4 or 5 pages long?
isn't it Tennessee Coast 34, I think?
My theory is there's enough problems in this town that mess with the chickens. Well, take care of what you got on the streets now.
Absolutely.
And worry about the chickens when they start cutting people up and stuff. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You got enough problems in this town, why worry about the chickens?
Is there no general?
So does dogs, so does cats, so
We
does
addressed the dog.
everybody. Well, people take care of their chickens too.
Is there no general nuisance law? There must be a general nuisance law.
That's county council one.
I mean, everybody has.
That Tennessee statute.
Can I say something?
Tennessee
Can I
statute
say
right now
something?
is
I have a son that lives in Nashville. In Nashville town, they are allowed to keep chicken.
We're not saying you cannot keep chickens here.
So what is the reason for all this?
We're asking people to keep their chickens penned up and not let them run
Yeah,
wild.
that, I
Okay,
agree
we got a
with that.
problem with that.
I agree with
People
that.
can be responsible, but when you start saying people have to keep their chickens penned up, then that becomes a problem. Because people wanna be able to free range their chickens if they're able to.
On their neighbor?
I didn't say that. If that's a problem, you can deal with that problem.
That's what
There
we're
was
gonna do.
a problem here with one little couple that had their chickens, they didn't know it was a problem for them to free range, they had a couple of complaints. We bought them a coop and took it there, solved the problem. They killed the bill, now it appears again. So that's the kind of toying with it that we don't want. If you tell people that they have to keep them pinned up, then that gives you a way of enforcement. And then it gives you a way of fine. And all of this is supposed to be about protecting the citizens, but what happens is,
Exactly.
you
You've
have,
got citizens who do not want the chickens in their yards.
you got a lot more citizens that want to have chickens,
But
but
not in the neighbor's yard.
chickens don't venture very far.
They
But
don't
if you,
belong
but if
in
you put
someone
that,
else's
if you put
yard
that
that
on the
doesn't have
books,
chickens.
then what happens is, then you've got something to enforce. Then you've got, the next thing it'll be permits, and if this is all about protecting the citizens,
No,
permits
it's not
become money.
only permits.
Money
No, we're
goes
not
into the city.
There's no
Fines will
permit
go
on
to the
that.
city. Well, yeah, how are you gonna enforce it?
Is this
You
any
enforce
different
it by
from dogs and
fines.
cats?
No.
Is this different from dogs and cats?
Apparently.
I mean, what's the
See,
difference?
we're all here because we don't want y'all to do anything. We don't want you
So you
toying
are.
with it. We don't want you adding to it. We don't want you doing anything. Just leave us and the chickens alone. That's
So
all.
keep your chickens up.
Fix what you got messed up all around here.
Keep your chickens up.
Don't worry
Excuse
about
me.
chickens.
I have a question, Susie.
Keep your chickens on your property.
I have one question. If my chicken goes into her property, we can't communicate? Why do you need to interfere? It's a personal problem. Can we not
Exactly.
communicate?
You
Can we
can
not
communicate.
communicate? Then that's it then. You just said it. We could communicate. So why do, I'm seeing here, require annual permit for chicken. True or false? Is it? Are you
Annual permits, there
That's
is
right,
no
okay.
annual permit.
Okay. How about requiring annual fees for owning chickens?
No.
Okay? We require you to cook your city
Like I
chickens.
said,
That was voted down.
that was voted down
Right,
last
right,
Monday.
You're bringing
Still,
up
what I'm
something
saying though,
that's not
you
even
heard
in
it,
there.
you turned that down, so why can't we communicate? You turned that down. Why can't we have a right to communicate to each other, like we do our kids, in my backyard? So what are you gonna do, give me a freaking fine, and my kid in your neighbor's yard? I'm just asking you, are you gonna do that to me?
I'm asking to keep your chickens up.
And I'm asking you, sometimes they take off.
How bad of
They-
a problem
they
is
take
it
off.
if one chicken, the chickens don't go far from their coop? Like people, that's the thing, it's not just having chickens loose.
But
A
he's
lot of
right,
people- I
they
have
shouldn't
a
be on
pen.
somebody
Don't
else's
you have
property.
bigger
I have a
problems
pen and a
with
run,
chickens getting
and I let my
things?
chickens
That's the
walk
biggest
around
problem
that
you've got.
pen for a couple
Chickens
hours.
running loose, that's
And
all.
then they
That's
go
the
in
biggest
at
problem
night.
for Surgoinsville Scott.
Where are the chickens running loose at?
Down, it was running loose down in
I've
front.
been-
When was the
I've
last
been
We
running-
solved that problem.
16
Last
times.
When was the last
Well,
complaint?
we didn't put it there.
Cows across the street from
Everybody
mine,
can talk.
and
When-
city limits.
When was the
Cows
last
across the
complaint?
street.
When was the last complaint about a chicken?
To what?
When was the last complaint about a chicken? When was it? How long ago has it been?
We've had several.
When was the
How
last
many?
time? The
How many
last
complaints?
time. You have to take correction. You gotta have record of it, right?
Yeah.
Where's your record and when was the last time? How many times has there been a complaint? By how many people? You have to have record of this, right? You do somewhere, so I want it.
What's so hard about keeping chickens?
No, that's not answer my question. My question is, when was the last time someone complained? And how many complaints have you had? It's a simple.
And how much
No,
money
answer
do
the
you
question. The question is, when would?
That,
Then you don't know, so you don't have nothing to base this on.
for the mayor, this is because we want to know what's going on. We want to know where the complaints are, where they come from, how many of them there is, who filed them, exactly what the complaint is. We can't get any information. We can't even get the
They
ordinance.
ain't got
We
nothing
couldn't
to
get the
do.
agenda for the meeting. We can't find out anything about the complaints. All you wanna do is say, keep the chickens in your yard.
Fine.
You don't have to do that.
Oh, I don't?
No, you don't.
Your chickens in my yard.
I mean, you don't have any
problem with that.
You're creating an enforcement problem. And
Well,
we're telling you,
you're creating an issue by
we
saying
didn't
things
start the
that's not
issue,
even
y'all
true.
did, by bringing it up to start with.
Yeah, because people's chickens are out.
You don't know how many, you
That
don't
is-
even know how many complaints you've
You
got.
act like
Where's
that's
the
a
police
huge
chief
problem.
How many complaints have we had about chickens?
I like to see a report.
Since the issue with the,
Yes.
since the issue, probably 3 complaints.
Okay.
And then we
And how
down.
many
And all this because of 3
Who's at my
complaints.
house? Neighbor talking?
The neighbors.
Neighbor got involved.
In this time when trains are derailing every day, when the largest port in the country is closed, when the gas price is going up, and the food chain is getting slimmer and slimmer.
Right.
People have a
It
garden
was
and
never our
chickens,
intent to keep anybody from having a chicken. Never.
because we're gonna need them
Yeah.
all.
Yes,
We're
we are
need
gonna
'em.
need them. We are.
Everybody needs a
We should be
chicken
encouraging people
and
to have to grow
victory
food.
gardens right
Jack is
now.
exactly right. Instead of trying to punish the citizens in Surgoinsville that have got chickens, we should be celebrating the people that are trying to be self-reliant, that want to put food on the table, that want to provide for their families, that are not dependent on government.
Amen.
We should be celebrating these people. This is our heritage. This was the Scotch and Irish that settled this country. Let me,
Your time's up, Joe. Your time's up.
How many chickens do you eat a month?
How
How many eggs do you eat a month?
I have a question, honestly,
We're
because,
gonna move on. We're gonna move on.
excuse me, sir, this council wouldn't exist without the people in this room. And if there's obviously an unresolved issue in this room with these people. I grew up in this town. I was a child that went to Surgoinsville. I live on the outskirts of town. I've done my birth and I've done my honor and I've worked on a farm. I feel like the fear mongering that's been going on in our society has crept into our community. You are not giving us the reassurance that we are needing as a people with the information that you are supplying. If it was not for me working at the place that I work and someone putting a flyer up, I wouldn't have even known that any of this was going on. There is a call to arms as you, as our council members and our representation, to subdue the anxieties and the stresses on your township. Sir, you battering with him and you all making it a pissing contest is not appropriate. The issue is that we need clarification on what is going on. I'm just saying what these people are trying to get across, honestly.
Discussion is over.
No, we need clarification
We do need-
on
you
this,
said
on the
unfinished business.
standards.
Well, this is very unfinished business.
It just goes from
This-
week to week. no.
Yeah, it just keeps dragging on, and you're trying to wear us out. We're not gonna be worn out. We're not gonna be intimidated.
I have one final question. If my chicken runs loose, and my neighbor's trying to discuss it, and someone comes over and gives me a fine, okay, wait, I don't pay for that fine. How long do I get to before I get in prison? Because even though we discussed it, my neighbor and I, we got interfered
It's not
with
outrageous.
this. We got nervous about this. We got nervous because now we're over the chickens. So what's next?
With this ordinance, will it still be a civil matter? That's what I wanna know. With this ordinance that you are taking in by state law that you cannot give us an adjacent address for to find right now.
I got it.
You've got it?
Yeah, it's 44-8-401.
Did everybody get that?
The reason I didn't have it on hand is it's a strange number to remember, but.
Right, and there's sequences and all the documents and there's segues and
If you look
amendments.
up Tennessee statute 44-8-401, it's like.
Okay, so that is about 4 or 5 pages long of detailed information. What is the nutshell that is going to be the requirement of our township? And will there be consequences with an instatement of this ordinance for the individuals that have chickens? Is there going to be a financial amount that's going to come out of someone's pocket mandated by this council?
This thing's been going on for over a month, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And there's been meetings and meetings and meetings, and, I mean, you guys have to have some idea what it is you wanna do here.
Our
You
intent.
say, oh, it's gonna be the Tennessee code. What the hell is the Tennessee code
And then they
saying?
want to adjust
Get
the
your
Tennessee
computer
code
and
with
get
what
it.
adjustments.
Well, I would have before this meeting
Responsibility.
if anybody had told it to me.
Yeah.
We've been trying to find that out.
We don't live like in Venezuela, y'all.
No, we don't.
If the problem over there has been solved, why does anything have to happen? Why doesn't the problem solved to be
Like I
done?
said, if James has a complaint and he thinks that he has to take it to Roger, the only reason that we wanted to do that is so we could, to city court here. But that's not, very, very, very seldom anything like that is ever gonna happen.
What do you do when a dog runs on somebody's property? No,
I
I mean,
have that problem too.
I understand that, but what is the law that you invoke when you have a problem
That's
with a dog?
James.
Okay, no, that's
Animals at large.
Huh?
Animals at large.
Chickens
Well,
would
the
fall
chicken's
under
an
that,
animal.
wouldn't they?
I didn't want
It
to.
says we have law.
In my yard.
But the problem is, it's
Dogs
enforcement.
and cats fall under the statute. Chickens fall under a livestock statute, which is a special statute under the law. When you look up this law, that she gave you the statute, you have to go to the definitions, which is gonna be pigs, swine, ducks, goose, and stuff like that.
How about the parks?
Fowl, and stuff like that. So, it's just a different statute on dogs and cats.
Okay, and then what does it say about it?
I'll tell you what it says about it. The legal definition of livestock is, the term livestock includes cattle, sheep, horses, goats, and other domestic animals raised on a farm. Turkeys or domesticated fowl are considered poultry and not livestock within the meaning of this exception. So we're gonna argue over the definition of livestock.
Yeah, I have to sign warrants in Rogersville for that statute, and chickens, if you use it for food, it falls under that statute. I'm telling you, it's class C misdemeanor. Still trying to solve the
And
problem that
what
doesn't
is
exist
the,
now.
what is the misdemeanor? If they're on somebody else's property or
With them running that.
noise?
And where does the money go?
Huh?
Where do the fines go? Where does the money go?
Money in state court goes to national, I assume.
Joe,
What about
so
this?
your definition that you gave currently in the 44-8-401, the definitions is defined in 43-1-114, and its livestock means all equine as well as animals that are being raised primarily for use as food or fiber for human utilization or consumption, including, but not limited to cattle, sheep, swine, goats, and poultry, as defined in the Tennessee state law right now. So poultry does fall under the current state of Tennessee.
So we've got two legal definitions of livestock.
Well, it depends.
Depends
in
on
what
who's
setting.
reading it and how you define it.
You didn't
Well,
read
it's
the
the
It's
line.
like Tennessee state code anything.
Yeah, it's written in the
It
code.
depends on
currently.
who's reading it and how you want to define it. Is how you,
What'd you say, Wood?
I said, she read the whole definition and chickens are included in it.
Yeah, poultry
It
is
says
included
not
in
limited
Tennessee.
to, and it gives the list, but chickens would be covered by that.
Yeah, chickens are covered by Tennessee's
Yes.
state law regarding livestock at large. In each section, it'll say definition, it'll have another number, you can click it, it opens, this one's 43-1-114. So if anyone needs those from me, I can write them down for you before we leave, you can feel free to look. You just Google Tennessee with the code, it pulls it up, you can read any ordinance.
So we've established that the state law covers
Chicks.
Yeah.
fowl,
Correct.
right? Turkeys, chickens.
But
So
see-
now we got a framework, right? And I'm with you, you can't let people, you're abusing your neighbor if you let your chickens loose on their land.
Tennessee
It's
state
incumbent
law
on-
has it as a class C misdemeanor, which
Yeah.
is a $50 fine, right?
How many people have been
With
fined?
the state of Tennessee.
Nobody's been fined.
Nobody here's been fined.
There should be, right?
Can't,
If their chickens are on somebody else's property, to his point, that person that owned the chicken should be fined.
Yeah.
Well, none of us are talking about like letting them graze on somebody else's. It would be like the one chicken makes a hop onto a fence and it comes back.
But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of these problems can be solved by your neighbor talking to your neighbor. Instead of calling
That's
the
what
law and
that's
doing
what
all
we're trying
that.
to do.
So would it be the same as somebody walking onto someone
And they
else's
won't let it
property as
die.
trespassing? It would be up to the person that owned the property what they would wanna do, if they would wanna press charges or not?
It is, but this all started with,
Well, if that's the case, then why is there an issue of the
but
ordinance?
see,
of the
they
people?
could come here and swear out a city warrant instead of going to Robbinsville, swearing out a state warrant. And then you intermix and you got murders, DUIs and stuff like that, then we have a chicken case. So this is to do local stuff here in local. Let me, and this all started with James getting a complaint. I think he was off one day.
I was off, yeah.
He was off, and a neighbor called in about a rooster crowing, right?
Yeah.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
The problem is, nobody talks to your neighbor. They wanna talk to me. I mean, literally.
Do you literally tell them talk to your neighbor?
He's right.
Literally, they wanna talk to me, they don't wanna try to talk to the neighbor and work it out.
Yeah, he's right.
And so you have the option to be a mediator between the
So then I try to be mediator between the two neighbors. And most of the time, we can work it out civilly.
Turn into annual
So what's wrong with that process?
So was that part of the original proposal, that you couldn't have roosters? That's still.
And let me address, somebody sent me this today from one of the posts. And I might be speaking out of turn. It says, require annual permits for chickens. This board, that was brought to us, okay? But what happened was the city attorney, and I think maybe the building inspector, brought several statutes from Area 6, just for us to look at. That was never this board's intention to make you all get tags or whatever for chickens. Am I right? Then, let's see here. It says require annual fees for owning chickens. This board, not in favor of that, or I believe, we never were in favor of that. That was just a suggestion from them getting area laws from areas, other cities, and brought in for us to look at, to pick, do you want this, do you want that? We weren't interested in that. That wasn't gonna solve the problem.
And we voted that down.
But you're talking about fear mongering, this being put in that wasn't what we were out to do. Require you to submit your coop for city inspection. That was another thing that was just in another city that was offered to us to look at. We never considered. Now, this last one, limit the number of chickens you can own. Now, that was kicked around here. They kicked it around here talking about how many chickens you could have and maybe a rooster or something, like one rooster for, I heard that talk. But all that other stuff, that was just stuff brought to us for us to look at, never considered. And then last time that we voted down even so we were under the understanding that there were a law on the books. And then I think I'm the one that suggested let's just go by state law.
Wasn't there a first reading of something that you all voted on?
And it was voted down. It was
No, the first reading. The first reading you all voted for.
Yes, you did.
So everything you said is just, it's not true because the first time you voted yes. And it wasn't until the second one that I got it voted no.
It didn't have this stuff in it.
You all voted for it the first time. So I don't care what else you say, we wanna see it this time before you all vote on it, or before you even discuss it.
There's a real problem here with transparency, seems to me. I mean, I tried to call this afternoon just to get a copy of the agenda, and was told it wasn't available yet. I mean, this was at 1:30. And Joe came just before the meeting, and it still wasn't available.
Sir,
And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
we haven't seen anything that's been voted on.
And
I mean, they're all hidden, it seems like, yeah.
The last meeting I was here, the mayor made the comment, I don't know where he is, the mayor made the comment that this was just complicated, it was too complicated. And the arrogance and the elitist thinking about telling us that a chicken ordinance is too complicated for this group of people to understand. It's just the ruling class that we're fighting against, and we see it all over the world, and we don't want it. We don't want any part of it.
Listen, Bill, I was raised on a farm. I was raised with a half acre back and 2 milk cows, so I know what it is to have chicken. I know what it is. I've been there. So we need to move on.
Well, let's
Is
just.
this a done deal?
Let's say it's
Is
not
it gonna
coming
be a
back.
done deal or what?
Or do we need to keep coming back?
Come back, come back.
Sir, if y'all want to have perhaps limiting the number of hens,
No.
limiting
You give them,
roosters,
put in the
then-
law.
I don't
Can't
care.
let them.
if you do that,
I
then are you
don't
gonna limit the size of gardens?
I don't care if you
Because
have
I saw-
50 chickens or 100. I don't care. All I want is it to be not on somebody else's property. That's where I started with this. Because I went out through Friendly Town one day and there's 25 to 30 chickens in my neighbor's yard. And I looked over there and there was a big old turkey.
I went there and there was 11 in a turkey. And I bought them a coop and we took it there. So there wasn't 25.
Key
There wasn't
West
30.
got all
There wasn't
kinds of-
50. I heard 50 one time.
Key West, they run it large.
Excuse me, sir.
Wants to.
Huh?
Yeah, the big old business too.
My name's Connor Brown. My name's Connor Brown, and I think if you've got this much opposition for this one little proposal, it might not be a good idea. And you might want to rethink.
On May the 1st, we'll have a workshop. Everybody's invited.
And we've been a town for over 200 years, and we haven't had an ordinance like this. Right?
We had chickens.
And
You know, everything else.
I'm just wondering, do we really need this? I mean, there's lots of other things we could be working on. We need a doctor, we need a larger police force,
We agree with you.
we need a bank,
We agree with you.
we need to figure out how to protect our schools if something happens. We gotta reinforce that, but we're focused on chickens. And so we need to step back and go, maybe this is not a good idea.
All potatoes.
All we ask is that you keep them off of your neighbor's property.
What about the roosters?
Well, if we say okay, then we're good to go.
First proposal said, good enough.
I say yes.
You're right.
And if it's in the neighbor's property, it's dinner, right?
Here's what I would ask. If you're gonna.
That's right. That's a real simple way to solve it.
Draft up what you're gonna do.
Chicken comes in my yard, it's there.
Let it be known. Put it in the paper, send it to Joe's, he can distribute it around to other people, post it somewhere publicly.
That's no problem.
So, or it never happens.
That's no problem.
Okay, but it needs to happen.
So y'all are
And then-
planning on drafting up something that is basically what you're saying.
Even though the problem's already solved.
Yeah.
Right, we don't have a problem. Not one worth all this.
But
The problem's already solved, why don't we just drop it?
no draft needed.
Okay. We got other business to take care of.
Where do we stand on this first up? Are you still pushing, gonna say
They're
this
gonna
May?
push
We're gonna
They're gonna
discuss this
push.
May the 1st.
They'll push against one beating after another.
Hope y'all like crickets.
Yeah, man, how many meetings has it been now? I mean, it's.
Guess we come back May.
Piss at it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Why does it take that much to figure it out?
Cause they can't figure it out.
Well,
It's complicated.
It's
Go back.
complicated. That's what the mayor said.
go back to what Randy said. You know, we had 2 or 3 different proposals and we didn't like any of them.
Well, that's.
Well,
that's
obviously,
for
you
a
like
while
one
out,
section
we're
of
all
it,
good.
one.
Well,
didn't like any
So
of
what,
us.
what do you say to
They didn't
that?
Is this over 3 people calling down about somebody's
Yeah.
chickens being?
Yeah.
This 3 people?
Yeah.
Over one person's chickens. And
You
months.
got all these
And they
people
took care of it. And they
in
took
here
care of it.
and you're gonna, for 3 people, and it was resolved,
We
and you're gonna go through all this mumbo jumbo junk.
You want the money?
And then everybody be gonna be back in here fussing at you all for doing something stupid.
Wasting our time and wasting your time.
So, you know,
We know y'all
that
got
just don't
big
make
hearts.
sense.
And you want everybody to be happy and survive. We know it. We know you're good people. Let's just like, let's be great. Let's be Americans. Let's be United Statesians, for heaven's sakes. Let's not be like, you know, good old Venezuela.
Control by government.
Could be easier just to offer a class on how to do your chicken, do a coop, and then that would resolve a lot of issues right there for the new people that don't even know how to do chickens.
The new law isn't required.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, I think these guys have a valid point. Chickens should be on your property. There should be an enforcement mechanism. If they stray, the person that's violating somebody's rights is the one who gets punished, not a broad brush that affects everybody.
But you got one chicken is stray.
That's the reason why we wanted to go with the state.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Go with the state law.
It hasn't changed.
They wanna redraft.
They want
It
to,
hasn't changed.
You can't.
There's nothing. Everybody that's got a property line adjoining each other have a joint responsibility to keep livestock off of their property as much as that other one has with keeping it on it. So, if that's the case, the neighbor's gonna have to build a 12-foot tall fence to keep the chickens off of it. So they have that.
If it's state law, it's already in effect. They don't have to do anything.
40 years and they get out all the time.
They know
But
that.
you're responsible cattle owner, you go get them.
And then my neighbors that I've got line fences with keep the line up fence over with me. They bear the expense. If they don't, it doesn't matter.
I ain't never seen this. Never seen it.
What they say is,
People that want to harass their neighbors, probably most of them hate your neighbors, and you're looking at something you're right. So they can drive to that, if it's that serious. No, I agree, but you know what happens with most of this, you just don't hear neighbors.
That's great.
I make a motion that we let the police chief, if you have any nuisance complaint, enforce state law through state court, and be done with it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
If it's state law.
Roll call, vote. Vice Mayor Jordan? Aye. Ready? Aye.
like dogs, shoot, shovel, and shoot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, I guess it is probably. My neighbor's third time, end of story. Right, if they're not. And they know I'm up to it. Thank you.
Yeah, I found it. Gotta get in.
Hey, James.
More importantly, little girl,
They're here all the time.
and her sister would,
That's funny.
his mother thinks
Hey, we got some more.
Oh, yeah, right out. What's her? I mean,
See if you got some pictures of that. And maybe I can get the officers to look at it and see if they can ID.
How y'all doing? I want to put your dang chickens up, would you?
Mine was hard to leave.
Sit right down there and look out.
That's what you gotta do.
Please,
I'll just say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The state law you just did.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Dude, state law.
Hey, you got a report?
Yeah, I do. For the month of March, 296 complaints, 7 incidents, 1 accident, 5 offense reports, 47 citations, 12 animal complaints, 7 code enforcement, and 2,154 miles.
What was, the code enforcement, what was that about?
That's, structure complaints.
Structure complaints?
Yeah, on some of the couple of houses here in town.
Okay.
We're starting to get some complaints on it.
You got anything, Bob?
Town Public Works, March 23, or March 2023, residential crash is 31 times, commercial is 15.64 times, brush truck 28.73 times, dump trailer is 5.06 times, recycled plastic was 870 pounds, down 32 bags of pothole patch. auto was $656.07. Liberty lumber was $6,491.69. That was sewer pumps and a pallet of asphalt pallets. That's 63 bundles, I believe. Co-op was $906. Cox tractor was $320.80. And 2 cats on animal control.
Everybody look over the sewer report. On 316, what was that? Well, it replaced, oh, I see now, Union replaced. That
Yeah.
came apart.
Yeah, it was at Rick Stewart's. It blew apart.
Have you had any more trouble up here on Main Street?
23, 26?
Yeah,
No.
they're the ones that burned up several pumps there.
Yeah, but we haven't had no trouble since we changed that wire in the conduit, but that don't mean the other 2 wires that goes to the floats ain't the same way. We just replaced that one, and actually I got it in the work truck. Got a baggie of stuff out of that pump that we pulled out. And then we had a faulty pump. Logan's got it, he's sending it back. It worked for a couple of days. It didn't sound right when we put it in. We thought it might have just been because it wasn't no water in it pumping. But when we pulled it back out, it was clean, nothing in it. It just quit working. Logan Davison's got it, the one we got them ones from. He's sending it back, we'll get it replaced.
Okay. Bob's got an estimate on sealing the cracks on the walk path, and one of them was $5,800, and that was, we would have to do it again in the future, but they would do another one, they would do the whole thing, and we would have to do it again for $7,000. And I told Larry, I said, we probably just need to put that in next year's budget. Is that so? That's the whole truck? Yeah.
$2,000 more.
Hey,
Well, it worked, over 2, then it's
1,200.
1,200.
You got anything else, Bob?
Well, I've been trying to get Turner's down here to give us an estimate again on the roads. He talked to him Thursday, he was supposed to be here this morning, and hasn't showed, I hadn't heard from him. I called, left a message, which I'm sure I'll have to get 2 more estimates on that.
Well, just like Larry told you, you can make an effort to get them. If you don't get back to you, you have to go
Carry on.
when you get it.
I'll start that tomorrow with, trying to get a couple more. Y'all got any recommendations that y'all used before in the past, or?
Just whatever you can find. I think Larry Worley's doing better work now than he used to.
Okay. I seen, maybe bracket paving. I seen them down below, what did I see? Oh, right there at Track Right the other day. They was doing that. But I'll reach out to them tomorrow, maybe have it at a workshop meeting.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause you need to spend that money this year.
Yes.
And then, we'll have some money next year, or next year.
Which I think on that Thurman Road, we can do a lot of that
With the hot
themselves
box.
with the hot box, just getting the manpower to help do it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm down, of course, I'm down Tony, and, you know, I'm gonna say it because I'm thinking it, I might as well, just get people that wants to work, to come in to work. I know everybody has a bad day, I know that. I have bad days every day, I hurt every day, but I still get up and come to work.
Yeah, I know.
Vice Mayor, let me add something while you're talking about paving. The budget for this year, you know, was $127,000, and we've spent 51, leave 75,000. We still got 75,000 we could spend this budget year.
Okay.
So whatever we can get done, I would suggest to get done by June, and then it'll look easier on next year. See, we had a reserve from last year because we didn't spend it all, so that's why we got such a nice big chunk for the current year. So once Bobby gets his quotes in, we'll get started on some of the jobs.
Which one is it? What's for?
I think it's,
49 zero.
yeah, it's on that.
Yeah.
I think we're in the retirement, walking track, sidewalks, steps, and long way.
Did I hear a motion we accept these 3 reports?
Like a motion.
Not second.
Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Larry's got something he wants to throw at us. James, you might want to listen to this too.
Office safety. Considering the fact that when there's 2 people in that office and somebody walks in with any kind of intentions of harming us, there's no way we can get out of there. I want to work with James and come up with an idea and bring it to the board.
And I think we just need to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I think it's ready.
Yeah, okay.
I can't see any reason to have any opposition to that.
Thank you. James, I'll be back to work next Tuesday. We'll talk.
All right. Do we need to discuss the city recorder?
Yes, we need to discuss the city recorder situation. I have only one application so far and one in the works. She sent me a file that I couldn't read, so she's trying to get it sent back to me in a different
Is
format.
that a resume?
Yeah, resumes. And I've been advertising for 2 weeks, so I'm gonna continue to advertise. I think I need to add something in the ad, and that is roughly what our starting pay is going to be. And I'm recommending 50 to 60K depending on qualifications. If not, you're not gonna get anybody that's capable of doing the job. I'm just being flat out honest with you.
I agree. What do you think, Randy? Yeah. We all agree.
Yeah.
We got the qualifications, it'd be well worth
Oh, yeah.
the salary.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go in there.
You have a town in the East Tennessee right now that's hiring between 70 and 80. I'll be surprised if they get anybody. Irwin, Tennessee. They just recently lost their city recorder again.
Nothing wrong with that.
Still no word on the police cruiser, Jay?
I talked to them this week, and the delay now is till August before we can order.
You don't have an idea on the price though, do you?
Yeah, I'm waiting on the 209 forms to come out for the state bid.
Anything else you got, James?
No.
Bob?
Got 2 old push mowers out there at the shop. We don't use any work much.
Oh, my. Well, I guess we need to declare them surplus.
Yeah, you better. I mean, I don't know how long they've been here, but
Maybe we'll make a motion, declare it surplus.
I'll make that motion.
Bill makes it.
I'll second.
Randy second. What about that old brush out there, old big brush? Is it still out there?
It's still out there. There's a lot of stuff that we need to, clean up out there and haul to Austin Mill Salvage. That brush ain't worth fixing.
What about that old big tile?
That big tile ain't worth a crap.
This, Fishmore's got serial numbers or anything?
I've not seen any on them, and there might be some paperwork out there that's on it. I'll just have to look and see.
If you can find some, can we make that part of the record?
Yeah,
Instead of just listing,
Yeah.
or do we have a tag or something?
Any kind of identification.
I'll look on them. Like I say, I don't know if there is or not, Randy.
That
I
way,
will.
comptroller or anybody ever questions it.
Yeah, can we add that old road, brush?
Brush, that's what I was gonna ask, you wanna add that to your motion in a second?
That's what, and then that old big tile, cause
Yeah. That big tile.
it wasn't deep enough in the ground to like collapse the way it did.
Yeah, it's collapsed, crushed. It's just in the way, eyesore.
I have a suggestion, Bobby, take a picture of everything, if you can't do anything else. Just take a good picture of it and then we'll bring it to town, send it to town hall, we'll print it out and put it in the file.
And no problem hauling that stuff to Austin Mill and put the money back in the general fund.
All those in favor say aye. Anything else? Nothing else,
Well, I talked to Merle Brown the other day about that mess over here past the country store, it's all piled up the road over. There's orders to clean this town up, I've been living here since 1970. We went through the same thing about 8 years ago. The lawyer for here told me, he said, I'll have to get back to you on this issue. Well, 8 years ago, I still don't have anything to me.
Well,
why can't the city's got orders, put the orders in the law, enforce it? Well, if they don't wanna clean it up, fine them till they clean it up.
well, Vince has been on Rick and been on him, and he's done a little bit, but he ain't done near enough.
What, why don't do whatever, why do you make him do it?
I know.
That's why you gotta, if you're not gonna enforce the orders, why have them?
Well, I agree.
You out there every day.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He lives right out there in front, the other always looks at his front door, and he sees it every day. Would you like to live looking at that every day?
No, I wouldn't.
Do something about it then.
Used to have a big old pine tree that hid that. And then the wind took it down, and I see it every day.
Ordinance, you're not gonna enforce it.
We will
Yeah,
talk
fine
again.
right there, if they give them so X number of days to clean it up, they don't do it.
It is.
Just round and give a ticket for it then.
And I will say this too, it is a health hazard for us when we go over and work on that sewer at Rick's.
Oh, yeah.
But we have to go in between them trailers, and it is dangerous. You have to zigzag through right there.
I seen they put up a no trespassing sign yesterday when I went to church.
I guess cause we're back in between them two trailers when we had to pump that sewer out.
Yeah.
But we ain't got no other choice, there ain't no other way in there to get it.
Can we make a motion to send them a certified letter, give them 30 days to clean it up?
That's Vince's job.
Is it?
Yeah, Vince will do it. Yeah. We will talk to Vince and see what we can do, Tony. I agree with you totally.
I mean, we go over there all the time, but church over there, and they'll see it, I mean, I've got no problem if people live over there, I'm no better than they are. But you can keep what you've got cleaned up and manage the problem.
Oh, I know. And see, there's people living in them campers over there too. They say they're not, but I got a picture of a woman coming out, and a man standing there looking at her. Anything else?
I bought 2 signs at, Lowe's Friday, surveillance 24 hours a day. Y'all got a problem, they screw into the doors of the bathroom.
No, that's part of your job. Anything else? If not, everybody stand up and go home. You do whatever you want to do, all right? I'm going home. I'm going on vacation tomorrow.